Right, so let's look at this. We're going to look at the steps, 5 basic steps of statistical study to apply in the research. So let's look at an example and I'll explain the steps. Each month, the U.S. Labor Department surveys 60,000 households to determine the characteristics of U.S. workforce. One population parameter of interest is the U.S. unemployment rate, defined as the percentage of people who are unemployed among those who are either employed or actively seeking employment. Describe how the 5 basic steps of a statistical study apply to this research. So first thing you want to do is you want to identify goals. So what's our goal here? So step one, okay, the goal is to learn about employment within a population. I'm going to abbreviate population of all, oops, I didn't mean to do all, I was about to write Americans, of all Americans either employed or seeking employment. A lot of writing on these. So that's what we're trying to figure out. Step two is to choose representative samples. So I've got to collect a sample. So we've got to choose, and it surveys 60,000 households. So choose a representative, I better spell this out, representative sample of 60,000 households. And what we want to do, consisting of employed or people seeking employment. I'm not going to have room to write all this. All right, so we want to choose a sample. The step three is we want to collect raw data. So in this case, we want to collect the data. We want to get the information from the people. So we're going to ask questions. So we're going to ask questions. You're going to ask your questions to your 60,000 households, and their results. That's going to be the raw data. Will be the raw data for the research. Raw data for research. And the thing is, with the raw data, you want to convert that to statistics. So you'll convert that to statistics. I'm going to say convert to statistics. So like if 40,000 are employed, then you would say 40,000 divided by 60,000. That would be 2/3, around 66.67% are employed, or so you do that. At that point, you're trying to convert it to a statistic that's relevant for the problem. In this case, we probably know the percentage of people who are unemployed, percentage of people that are employed. Actually, we would want to do the percentage of people that are unemployed, because that's the parameter of interest here. 4, make inferences about the population. So step 4, based on the results, so based on these statistics that you get, you make estimates regarding the population parameter. So what the real answer is. So like, let's say the unemployment rate, like let's say you found the unemployment rate was 10% from your sample. Well, you would then use those estimates and you would try to translate that to the population. So you'd say, well, we would guess that the population the real number of unemployed people out there is 10%. So you're connecting it from the sample to the population. All right. And then finally, you're going to draw conclusions. And so based on that sample there, um, you're going to, so step 5, based on the results, estimates. And now what I will also say, I'm going to say in parentheses, and other information. So you might have some other information, previous statistics from previous years. If you want to chart like unemployment over time, if there's information related to this year available, you're going to make conclusions about the population. We will make conclusions. I should be like unemployment. Conclusions about the unemployment. And so like if you see in your sample that it's maybe higher than the previous year, then you can make conclusions, and maybe you can kind of gather some previous information, say, we think maybe the employment rate's rising, or maybe it's lower. So then make it say unemployment rates becoming smaller. So those are just the type of things you would do here on whenever you're playing a statistical study.